has made a lot of things a lot easier for me. Before LearningRx, it was harder for me to read and understand what I was reading and doing, but now I can easily go through paragraphs and stories. Reading before LearningRx felt like a chore and like I never wanted to pick up a book. And after now, I've read 5 books and I'm on my 6th book after.
And that is fantastic. Well, it is an unconventional approach to reading that is helping people of all ages become confident readers. LearningRx combines reading instruction with brain training, increasing focus and improving memory. And joining us now with their success story, we have Aaron Harker. He is the parent of AJ, who you just saw there. And we also have Rich Frieder from LearningRx. Thank you both for being here today.
Great to be here, Megan.
So Rich, why don't you start off here? Just tell us about LearningRx.
Yeah, so as you described, when most people see our name, they assume we're a tutoring center. We're not actually a tutoring center, right? That's just kind of providing more academic content. We are what's called a cognitive skills training center. The reason we focus there is our goal is to get to the root cause of what's driving a learning struggle. So we're focused on skills like memory, processing, attention, visual and auditory processing. Because if you don't address the root cause of like a reading issue, attention issue, the issues just continue as kids get older and expectations increase.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Aaron, tell us about AJ. How was she struggling before LearningRx?
So AJ was a good student, but was really struggling anytime there was reading involved. So she paid attention in class, did okay, but anytime there was a text that she had to read and then be able to do something with, was getting frustrated, just really struggling, just couldn't make sense of what she needed to do.
Okay, now you're an educator, a teacher yourself, so I think you've got to know about lots of different options out there. Why did you pick LearningRx?
We tried a lot of stuff at home, and it just didn't feel like she didn't need just more tutoring or more homework. She really needed something that was going to address sort of what is the foundational issue that she was struggling with. And the LearningRx program of really working on focus, working on sort of the roots and the basic of the language really got her to comprehend it, but also enjoy reading. The people that she worked with were fantastic. She really loves them.
Good, and it was fun to hear her share, a little bit about her own perspective. But just tell us, how has LearningRx made a difference for her?
It's transformed her approach to school, to reading. She is always picking up a book now. She loves reading for school, when before that was the last thing she wanted to do.
Okay, so as a parent, that has to be the best thing.
It's been phenomenal.
Good. Good. So Rich, tell us how LearningRx is different and why you see such strong gains there.
Yeah, we consistently see strong gains, and again, it's because we're addressing the root cause.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is if a child, or an adult for that matter, struggles with reading, usually it's a combination of several weaknesses. One would be memory, right? So you think about a first grader trying to remember sight words. That's memory. And then 60% roughly of our language are non-phonetic words like said. It's like, well, how do you know it's S-A-I-D? And the answer is, I don't know. You just have to remember it. So memory is critical as well as for reading comprehension. The other skill is auditory processing, which is our mind's ability to segment and manipulate sound, so decoding, right? So the ability to see a word and break it apart into the sounds and blend it. When those skills aren't where they need to be, it makes reading incredibly difficult. And so traditional approaches, for the most part, what you're doing is more reading, which practice helps, but none of that's addressing the root cause as to why a child struggles in the first place. And so that's why you see statistics that show things like if kids aren't caught up in reading by the end of 3rd grade, only 25% catch up. And I believe the reason is by that time, if your child is struggling, it's because of these cognitive weaknesses that don't get addressed in typical reading training. That's why we see such big gains, because we're removing the obstacles to why reading's hard in the first place.
Okay, so important that we address that root cause, as we
Absolutely.
said. Okay, well, thank you both for being here today. We really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we want to thank LearningRx for sponsoring today's segment. And right now, Minnesota & Company viewers can get a special discount on an initial assessment for only $75. LearningRx has 7 Twin Cities locations. For more information, you can call 952-949-6900 or be sure to visit LearningRx.com. Again, thank you to LearningRx for sponsoring today's segment.